What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Right now it is 10:30, and the reason why I am recording right now this late is because we're gonna have fun tonight. I've been itching. I haven't really driven the car since the dyno, and I did make a hit or two since the dyno before parking the car, and I'm itching and I'm excited. So right now we're waiting for some of the friends coming over right now, and then we're gonna go to grab some E85 and then go to the meetup spots. I already seen the list of where everybody's going tonight in Mexico, and I don't know if I want to go to some of those locations because they are pretty far. I am looking forward to the roll racing. So I do have one GoPro in the car in the back. I do have another one right here. I'm probably going to stick on the side depending on, you know, which side I'm sitting at, and I'm gonna have this one hopefully get you guys some footages. One of my other buddy is gonna be like a backup car, so maybe I'll toss this camera to him so he can kind of do some like outside shots. But yeah, I'm just waiting for everybody right now, and we're gonna see you guys at the gas station. Damn guys, battery died.
Sucks to suck.
I know, should have changed out that pulley when I had the chance to. Dead. 91? Can't believe my battery just died.
When it comes to buying a home,
Just my luck with a dead battery. Why is nobody moving? What is going on? Next day here, guys. So last night it was a shit show. I just went to the store right now to grab some things to button up with the CRX, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So last night my buddy was like, yo, don't do it, it's gonna be hot. It's been hot, the weather's been hot as well too, and I don't know, I haven't driven the car since the dyno, so I wanted to go stretch some legs with it, and everything was all good and dandy until we got to the E85 station. The battery died, and I don't know what it is. It wouldn't turn on, so Steven let me use his full charge battery and got us to the next spot where we were busted with a bunch of cops, and we left. After that, I didn't even go to any spots. I went straight home. I didn't want to risk anything. The car was burning a lot hotter, I feel, because the highest temperature reading I got was 223, and I drove it like that all the way home. But if I downshift it, it'll go back down, and then it'll fluctuate between, you know, 190 to like 220. So I decided I'm just gonna bring it home, park it, and figure out my battery charging issue. I feel like running low on voltage would make the car run, you know, whatever it was tuned for, more fuel, and then it's gonna burn hotter because you know, low voltage, so that means it's gonna run rich. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that theory, but the car is burning a lot hotter than it usually does. And I've been a little skeptical about that pulley down there. It is a single row SFI approved dampener, and as soon as I put this car on the dyno, Chad Barber was like, that thing right there is going to undercharge, and I had the hunch of it undercharging ever since I bought it like a year ago. And I've always had that weird like battery cranking, dying sound, like, and you know, that just, I think it's just killing my battery. So I think it finally killed the battery. That's why the car wasn't really charging at all. But regardless of all that, guys, I am going to change out the crank pulley for a stock style, because I should have done this a long time ago, and I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right here. So I'm gonna change it out to this pulley right here. This is an OEM unit with the built-in rubber to help dampen the vibration. I got the matching belt for that because the pulley that's in here is smaller, so it requires a smaller belt. Got the belt for that, and because the car was overheating, and if you guys remember when I did the first initial startup of this car, I was bleeding the cooling system out, and the thermostat didn't open until about 2:30, sucked up all the coolant, and then rapidly dropped down to about 190, 185. So I felt like that's what it was doing last night. The thermostat wasn't opening, so I got a new thermostat and gasket to change it out. And I'm not sure if I want to punch holes in it, because I ran holes on the thermostat before, never had any issues. But I also never had any issues with my last GSR engine without holes on my thermostat. So I'm gonna drain the cooling system out. I'm gonna replace the thermostat and the crank pulley. The battery has juice now because it was in Steven's car, which his charging system doesn't have any issues whatsoever. But last night this battery was in my car and it died at the gas station. Undercharging. That's not good. I'm gonna need this guy right here. Ooh-wee, for the crank pulley bolt. And then we're gonna need this big son of a gun right here. This thing looks like a suppressor for a freaking impact gun. Pew, 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 pew. Hopefully I got some space down here. Oh, it looks like I do. Like butter, baby. Like butter. This guy right here is my favorite, right? But it's broken now. Doesn't click no more. Everybody's got that one favorite tool, right? Leave a comment down below. What's your favorite tool? Man, there were so many cops last night. That's what happens when you guys support the sideshows. All it took was 2 burnouts to get blocked in last night. Uh-oh, where's my keyway? So this pulley right here was sold to me by a shop that I used to go to a lot, and I don't anymore. He said that if you're making a lot of power, you need some sort of dampener to help obviously absorb the balance of the rotating assembly. And the OEM unit has the dampener inside. You can see it right here. It's like rubberized. And because I'm not running the other accessories, right, and you know the EF guys, we have this issue where this would rub onto the radius rod of the traction bar if your car is really lowered. I'm not really lowered, I'm not worried about it, but I've had issue with it before. You can see down here it had touched at one point in time because the car was lowered more than what it is right now. I didn't feel the need to have these 2 extra rows, so I was like, all right, well, the guy runs 9s and stuff like that. I trust him. But I've just been having a lot of charging issues, so I'm just about ready to get rid of this and go back to a stock pulley. I got friends that make 500-600 horsepower on the stock crank pulley without issues. I'm fortunate enough to have one that doesn't have a ton of chips on it, and obviously if you had chips on it, a dampener will kind of absorb it a little bit so it doesn't throw off your rotating assembly. I've ran plenty of chip crank pulleys before without issues, but this one is super clean, so that's awesome. GSR SFI approved pulley. You can see the difference in diameter. Small, normal, normal, small. And I believe like the OBD0 LS pulley is much bigger. Like, it's a little bit more bigger than this guy, which also requires a different belt. But I think we're going to have major improvement going from this little thing to the stock one. Make sure your keyway is back in there and not inside the lower timing cover. Mine is still there, if this thing will focus. And you can see how close this pulley middle row, which is, I believe, for the power steering, is close to the radius rod. And you can kind of see the old previous mark on the radius rod where it hit before. It's from that middle row. So because my car is higher, you can see how much clearance I have here. That's about 1 inch, so I'm not worried about it rubbing onto my radius rod, but it'll do. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that crank pulley bolt back. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on and see if our charging system is looking a little bit better. I don't know about you guys, but I like the smell of the E85. It's a little higher, but not quite where we need to be. Weird. That's just so weird. This is the Honda mobile app that allows you to Bluetooth into your ECU if you have the version 3, I believe it is, for the S300, and the version 4 for the K Pro, or it's the 4 for the S300 and 3 for the K Pro. But you got to have the Bluetooth option so you could connect, right? So right now I'm currently connected, and you can see the car is idling right there at 1,000. Right now we're about to creep up on 180, and I was probing the alternator wire from the alternator to the fuse box. So the alternator wire from the alternator to the box is a CJS charge harness, and where's my power? From the alternator it's 14.4, but if I probe it right here on the other end of the charge harness, it's only giving me 13.4, which I don't understand why it's cutting out in between travels to the fuse box, but it's reading 13.4 here. And then this guy powers the fuse box, which this fuse right here goes to the battery. We're also at 13.4, and you know, it goes back to the battery, and that's why we're reading 13.4 back there. So I'm trying to understand why it's doing that. Okay guys, so I took the car around the block, I drove it a few times. Temperature seems to be okay. It's like 185 the whole drive. So with the car off, the battery voltage is reading 12.5 right here, and on the interweb, car off, battery should be at 12.4 to 12.9. So this battery charged seems to be good. And if I move it over to the KRX, right, and I do the same thing, positive, negative, 12.3. 12.3 because I don't drive this car, so it doesn't really get charged, but seems like the battery is charging over on the red car. So I think running low voltage was what was messing with my tune, and the manifold, the engine stuff was running a lot hotter than usual. The ram horn has been the hottest I've ever felt it since running the ram horn in this car, and you can see that now that it runs hotter, you can see all of that paint bubbling off the hood of the car, and this was never an issue before. So me and my buddy Gorditos went to B&R Fittings yesterday, Brian's house, to grab some oil supply for his turbo setup. His EG is going to be coming here probably a week or so, and we're going to be doing a turbo kit install on his car to get him into that boosted life, because he's been this die-hard all-motor guy. He kind of wanted to get into turbo a little bit, so we went to go grab some stuff from him yesterday. So I explained to Brian what happened the night before my dyno session. I don't know if I mentioned it in the dyno video, but my fuel pump died literally while we were building a base map, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the fuel pump literally like deteriorated. It broke. Like, you can hear it making all kinds of noise, right? And the car wouldn't turn on, like it was not pumping. So shout out to Brian, because when I bought that fuel pump, he did give me a second one, and I was able to install it that night. Slept super late and made it to the dyno the next morning to dyno the all-wheel drive CRX. So I told him yesterday about the scenario, and he was like, you know, apologize for the inconvenience, the mishaps with the fuel pumps and stuff. So he gave me the Dutch work pump to ensure that we're not going to have issues later down the road. If I have to switch to this guy, I am going to bag it up, stick it into the back of the car for emergency. I am going to run that same pump in the car until its last dying days. And Dutch work has been a great company. I've seen their products on a ton of cars, making a ton of power. Motion Auto TV most definitely runs all of their stuff on all of his cars, and he's been successful with them. So shout out to Brian again for hooking this up and all of the fittings I need to swap this out whenever the day comes for that other fuel pump that's in my car. So what I'm actually going to do, guys, is I'm going to keep this video short. This was supposed to be a Mexico video, but it did not go as planned last night. So hopefully I button up the CRX a little bit more and get it to not have those issues I've been having with it. And I'm going to hopefully try to get my tuner to street tune this car a little bit more and fine tune it out a little bit. And then we'll attempt to try to go out again and have some fun with this car. If not, I mean, I'll probably stick the GoPro in the car and just drive around town and pick a fight with whoever that pulls up. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this video short, guys. Sorry I didn't get any racing for y'all, but definitely do stick around, guys, because I am trying to get some Mexico runs for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. But if you guys enjoyed this video just a tad bit, or if you guys enjoyed me being scared with all the cops behind me, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.